Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Watchtower Examination. My name is Winston, and I'm going to begin in an unusual way to ask for your support in a big way. Help me to grow this channel, please, by clicking the thumbs up button. That's right. That little act that takes only a second can lead to a big change in someone's life. Things have been happening with this channel. I don't know exactly what is going on, but it is positive. I am getting an increase in the number of Jehovah's Witnesses and PMO who are telling me that these videos have helped them to wake up. This is what this is all about. Just pressing that like button, I am now learning, is a huge way that you can help. The more likes a video has, the more YouTube's algorithms will show the videos to non-subscribers. So that one small act of pressing that like button can help the outreach to more Jehovah's Witnesses. If you appreciate this channel and the videos, that seemingly small thing of liking this video can go a long way. So take 1 second break and click the like button right now. Video 766 was about the new light I found that had me cracking up as it brought home to me in hilarious tones just how ridiculous a thing was said by David Splain about how they do not see very obvious things in the scriptures because it is not yet Jehovah's time for them to see it. Until it is Jehovah's time, however, no matter how obvious it is, they will teach the opposite. Someone asked me why I was mocking Splain. Correction. I did not mock David Splain. David Splain made an ass of himself, giving me something to laugh about. Thanks for all the kind comments made about my laughter. Well, to start that video 76, I mentioned that I had just shot another video and was about to edit it. Ladies and gentlemen, I just finished shooting a video and I was about to edit that video. That video I was shooting will no longer be posted. Someone posted a comment asking why I blocked Magan Kigan from the channel and why I am shunning him when I preach against the Watchtower's shunning policy. In that video, I intended to open up to the public several email exchanges I have had with Magan and to explain why he or she was blocked. It was because I saw he or she had no interest to show me anything but to create distractions from the message. I also explained that Magan has my email address. I asked him or her to talk to me via email. He or she refused. Anyhow, the person who made the comment said she now understands and she deleted the comments. So I decided therefore to drop the matter as well. But just for those who do not know, I do not shun people. But if you are harassing me and trolling the channel for the primary purpose of distracting from the message, distracting from the channel, and being abusive to other viewers, you will be blocked. Moving right along. Now to this video. This will be the first of a two-part series on the final talk given at the Always Rejoice convention by David Splain. The reason I decided to do two videos is that I wish to comment on the general content of his talk, but there is one particular feature that it uncovers that I wish to address separately, which is what this video is about. Does the governing body care about Jehovah's Witnesses?
And I might just say, my mother, she was ready to sell up everything in the home because she thought that the end was coming in 1940, and her feelings were that of a lot of the brothers back there.
That is a member of the governing body. I don't know which governing body. because he is not a member of the current governing body as far as I know. And the Watchtower did not deem it necessary to say former member. Anyhow, according to them, that's a member of the governing body, reporting that A, his mother was ready to sell off everything in the home, and B, that was the feeling of the brothers back then when Russell deceived them into thinking that some of them would have been taken to heaven in 1914. Question to the governing body. Did people just think to sell, or did some actually sell? Question to Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you believe that the brothers merely thought to sell off everything in their homes? And even if it's only a few of them who did sell off everything, why is the governing body only telling you about those who thought to do it and not those who did? Could it be that they are withholding information from you to change your perception from the reality?
So we need to speak openly and honestly with each other, not withholding bits of information that could change the perception in the listener or mislead him.
Could the reason the Bible students were ridiculed include them selling off everything in their homes, as the mother of this member of the governing body was thinking to do?
All of the Lord's people looked forward to 1914 with joyful expectation. When that time came and passed, there was much disappointment, chagrin and mourning, and the Lord's people were greatly in reproach.
But here's the biggest question. Did the organization get some of the proceeds from these things that the brothers would sell? I can answer that question. It is a huge yes. So there is a financial incentive, therefore, for the Watchtower to do it again, isn't there? Now, I am not telling you that the reason it was done is money, but I submit that there is a financial incentive to do it again. Whether that is the motive, I leave to you to make a call one way or the other. Never mind that the Bible students were to go through a lot when the prophecy proved false.
They were ridiculed by the clergy and their allies in particular, and pointed to with scorn, because they had said so much about 1914 and what would come to pass, and their prophecies had not been fulfilled.
Yes, after all that embarrassment and ridicule and mourning, the leaders of the organization put them through more of the same in 1918, 1925, and again in 1975.
Reports are heard of brothers selling their homes and property, and planning to finish out the rest of their days in this old system, in the pioneer service. Certainly, this is a fine way to spend the short time remaining, before the wicked world's end.
I purchased an item on eBay. While I was waiting for an update that the item was shipped, instead, I got a message of apology from the supplier that the item was out of stock. The one I got was nearly twice as expensive as the one I bought. They took the loss. They felt so bad that they did not update their information and caused me to purchase the item and then experience the disappointment. They did not only think to compensate me, they did. When, because of the Watchtower's teaching, many persons sold their homes and property and donated to the organization, did the Watchtower think to refund those persons? Does the Watchtower care about those persons? Do they? In recent years, the organization did some downsizing at Bethel, and they reported on a few of the persons who were made redundant with no severance pay whatsoever. I spent hours searching for the article and I just could not find it. Sorry about that. But most ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and current witnesses know it is true. companies in what the Watchtower call Satan's world, Satan's system of things, give persons something to buffer themselves for a while when they are let go, but not the Watchtower, not the governing body. But they claim that they love Jehovah's Witnesses. Some love, that is. I guess people in Satan's world love and care for people more than Jehovah's organization does. The Watchtower produced this rather disturbing video.
But my boss wanted more than I was willing to give. He insisted that I work Sundays during my meeting. I needed this job. My wife and I were worried. What would happen if I lost it? I was determined to take a stand for my meetings.
Listen to those words. Not to take a stand for God, but to take a stand for my meeting. Not a stand for crying out loud for my God. No, for my meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a Sabbath observer. I once rejected a job that I really needed because they wanted me to work on Sabbaths. Now, we can agree, can't we, that every man has a right to his beliefs? Let us assume, for argument's sake, for those who believe the Sabbath law is abolished, just for argument's sake, let us assume that the Sabbath is indeed abolished. But I am genuinely deceived. Work with me now. In my mind, this is the reason I did not take that job.
Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
I did not take the job because of a command directly from God. Yes, based on what God said. My focus was on what God demanded. I felt it was going to be doing secular work on God's holy day as a direct violation of God's law. The Sabbath laws in the Bible are the only instructions therein where God ever told anyone to refuse to work. The Watchtower teaches Jehovah's Witnesses that the Sabbath law is abolished, but is now telling them that they must not work on the holy meeting times set by the Watchtower. They have literally replaced the Sabbath with their meetings and replaced God with the organization. Israel was not to work on God's holy day. Jehovah's Witnesses are not to work on the organization's holy meeting times. Don't you dare take a job that will interfere with our holy meeting hours. And they are just warming up. Sacrifice the income you need to support your family for them. Now it is sacrifice your family itself for them.
Jehovah has the right to expect that we'll love him even more than we love our husband, our wife, our son or daughter, or our parents.
This is really sickening. This reminds me of the serpent using God's words against him to Eve by twisting it just a little. Now the words of Jesus are being twisted by this organization, the consequences of which will mean the destruction of families. One of the first things that Nita achieved with Jade in a video being showcased to Jehovah's Witnesses as the model, the ideal thing to do with a Bible study was to get in her head to separate from her family and align herself with Jehovah's Witnesses by way of a false teaching that Jehovah would be disappointed in her if she spent the holidays with her family.
The holidays are our time. It's all I get from you. Promise me you'll be here.
Jesus was telling Christians that family will turn against them because they stand up for him, not that they should shun their families and stand up for Watchtower's false doctrines. You are not, and let me repeat, not Jehovah's Witnesses standing up for Jesus by refusing to spend a holiday with your family. And I can just hear Jehovah's Witnesses saying that to celebrate Christmas, which I know they will pivot to, is to dishonor Christ because it is not his birthday, etc. The Watchtower showed a scenario where the holidays were all that Jade's mom had to see her. For crying out loud, she would not be going to celebrate Christmas, but to spend some time with her mom, with her family. But this evil organization just destroyed that family time between Jade and her mom. The worst part of Jade's story is that it is fiction. You may wonder, what on earth do I mean by that? Had it been reality, we could say she had a moment of weakness and that it was unfortunate that she did. The fact that this is fiction means this is what the Watchtower is recommending to be done in a case like this. So after Spain was through exploiting and abusing the words of Jesus in the scheme to destroy families, next, the family's livelihood.
Has your desire to put Jehovah first been tested during this pandemic? You lost your job, and you searched desperately for another one. Finally, after a long search, you found one. But it was a job that would require you to miss all your meetings and opportunities for field service. What a temptation to take that job. You've been out of work for months. You felt helpless because a family member is supposed to provide for his family. It would take a lot of faith for you to refuse that job, pray to Jehovah, and then wait, hold on a little longer to see what Jehovah would work out for you. Showing that Jehovah has to come first, even when it comes to providing for our family.
That sounds all wonderful. The problem is that Jehovah really means Watchtower preaching and Watchtower meetings. First, you give them the impression that you will not solicit money from them.
As you know, for over 130 years, this organization has never solicited for funds, and it is certainly not going to start now.
But you take multiple opportunities to ask them to send money your way.
Our convention program contains over 90 audio and video productions, including the one we just enjoyed. Now, these videos are made at various locations around the world. In the days of Ezra and Nehemiah, the Israelites willingly gave material contributions in support of true worship, and we have the same privilege today. For your convenience, donations can be made online at donate.jw.org.
This organization has never solicited for funds.
Your generous donations make this possible. Donations can be made online at donate.jw.org.
And it is certainly not going to start now.
Donations can be made online at donate.jw.org.
This organization has never solicited for funds.
The Watchtower wrote a beautiful article telling Jehovah's Witnesses how Sweden now sees them as a legitimate religion doing good things, but did not bother to mention to the Jehovah's Witnesses that they are suing Sweden for government grants retroactive to when they were denied money from Satan's word. No mention of that in the article. What manner of religion is this? Does the governing body really love Jehovah's Witnesses? Here's how I answer that question. I hope I never meet anyone for as long as I live who loves me the way the governing body loves Jehovah's Witnesses. They will not stop asking the poor witnesses to slave for them, no matter how tired they are.
The years have gone by so quickly. I never imagined seeing a time when even the smallest tasks would be such a struggle. Even the little I can still do for Jehovah seems so useless. But I know when I start to feel like this, I have to fight it. It reminds me of Romans 12:12. Rejoice in the hope, endure under tribulation, persevere in prayer. Rejoice in the hope. I need to remind myself this isn't the finish line. It's just part of the race.
No matter how old they are.
We always assign the right person to a task, aware of everyone's knowledge, limitations, and abilities.
We love you all very much.
May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all.